Hello everyone, I'm John Patterson and welcome to the Turf Equipment Maintenance Facility here at the Atlanta Athletic Club. This is the first in a series of videos that I'm putting together on our cutting unit maintenance program. And in this first video, I wanted to cover just the basic tools and equipment that we use here in the shop to achieve optimum aftercut appearance and quality of cut. Here in our facility, we're maintaining primarily John Deere QA5 and QA7 cutting units, but we also do have some Toro 7-inch DPA cutting units as well. So I really don't think it matters that much what brand of equipment that you're using when it comes to basic procedures because they're all pretty much the same. It's just when you get into the details of setup that it makes a big difference. So we're going to get right into it. Here in front of me I have a granite surface plate, and this happens to be a Starrett plate. It's a fine-grained pink granite that has been polished flat to within 2/10,000ths of an inch corner to corner. And what that gives us is a true reference standard for flatness here in the shop. And when we go to parallel a cutting unit up on this surface, we know with high confidence that our rollers and our cut line are all parallel to that ground plane. I know a lot of guys are using the fabricated steel and aluminum plates, and I really discourage against that. Make the investment in a granite block if you can, because, well, I'm going to put up a picture here and show you. We had a aluminum plate here that was in use before I got here, and I didn't trust it from the start, and it's a good thing that I didn't because you can see in the picture that it is bent, and it's bent over 60,000ths of an inch. So when you go to set up a greens level cutting unit on that, set at a height of cut around 100,000ths of an inch, your rollers are going to be out by about 30,000ths of an inch on each end. So it's really not worth it to get a fabricated plate, in my opinion. Go with the investment of a granite plate. This Starrett plate was about $3,200, including the roll-around stand, but it's an investment that'll last for decades if taken care of properly. And you really can't you can't rely on tools that aren't a known true standard. You really need to rely on all of your fine measuring tools need to be at a high standard. So so that's the surface plate. Let's go on over and have a look at our reel grinder. This is our Peerless 7000 reel grinder from SIP Corporation out of Tampa, Florida. Now there's several reasons why I only specify Peerless grinders, and the main reason is that the mounting surface that you set the cutting unit on is a set of hard chrome plated steel rails that have all been shimmed flat to within a 1/1000th relative to the grinding head. And what this means is that in effect we're grinding on a surface plate, so that we don't have that secondary operation coming off of the grinder onto a surface plate going through that setup process. It's all done as part of the grinding setup. That's a huge time saver in the shop. The second reason is it's a very aggressive grinder if you want to be. The head is rigidly mounted, so there's no give to the head. If I do a large infeed, it hogs the material off very quickly. You can also be extremely precise with this grinder. If I only infeed a couple of thousandths for a touch-up grind, it just barely tickles the reel. So it's a sweetheart that way. It also has relief grinding capability, which comes in very handy on our large cutting units that we use out in the Zoysia fairways. We refresh our relief grinds every winter and then as needed through season. But the relief grind is very simple. There's no electronics involved. And that's another thing I like about the machine, is that it's a very mechanical machine. It's not stuffed full of printed circuit boards like a lot of the other machines. The only circuit board in the machine is the speed control board for the spin motor, and it's a very simple, very robust board. I've never seen one fail. The other tool that we use in conjunction with this machine is the pie tape, and we're always checking our reel diameters and making sure that we're grinding any cone out of our reels, and we're also maintaining the diameters of our cutting units in sets. In other words, we don't let the reel diameters vary by more than about 25 thousandths from reel to reel within a set. And that really has a big impact on our aftercut appearance. So that's the reel grinder. Let's go have a look at the bed knife grinder. This is our Ideal 6000 bed knife grinder, also from SIP Corporation. Now, it has a few features that I really love. The first, and I think the most important feature, is that it has two grinding heads inside the cabinet, one for the top face and one for the front face. This means that you can grind both faces simultaneously. That makes it not only almost twice as fast as all the other grinders, but it allows you to sneak up on that worn edge, and you don't tend to over-grind one face or the other. This really helps with bed knife life, especially the thin tournament knives. Now, the other feature that I really love is the V-mount pallet. This lets us index our bed bars off of the pivot points rather than off of the worn front face of the knife. That pivot point never moves over time. So that means once you marry a new bed knife to that bed bar, each subsequent grind, you just drop the bed bar into the V-mounts, lock it down, and grind it. You're not wasting a lot of time with touching off on either end of the knife trying to find your 0 point. And the last feature, and some might think it's trivial, but I really love the mist cooling on this machine. At the end of the day, no matter how many knives you've ground throughout the day, you can go right through with a shop vac and clean it up real quick, and it's ready to go for the next day. So I love the machine. And I'll be making more videos about this machine, the reel grinder, our cutting unit setups on down the road. Right now I'm going to head home. I'm tired and looking for some supper about this point. Hope you liked what you saw today. If so, please like and subscribe, and I'll be back soon with some more videos. Thanks for watching.